Well, I guess you've seen from the thumbnail, I'm back in the hospital from this broken leg. I can't pronounce it, but anyways, I'm back in the hospital. It was an unfortunate deal, but let's go over it real quick. I'll tell you exactly what happened, and I'll link the first video up here at about the 1 minute mark. You can look up, if you're watching on mobile, it'll be up on the right side. You can click on that and go to the first video. But man, what a deal this has been. I will tell you, and from the thumbnail you've seen, and I'm in Plano, Texas, in a medical city hospital, which is, I want to say it's one of the highest trauma hospitals, but this actually wasn't a trauma. Well, it was when it started out, it was a trauma. But anyways, y'all leave a comment, man. Everybody that supported me through this has just been super cool. I'm going to show you some pictures, and I'm going to warn you, if you got kids or you got a wife or you're squeamish at all, and I don't know if YouTube is going to take this video down, but I don't know why I keep putting those glasses down. I can see that a little bit better for filming. But I'm going to put some pictures up there, and I'm going to show you my bill. And make sure you leave a comment. The bill is unbelievable. And I've got some of the best insurance, Blue Shield. Thank God for that. My max out of pocket's going to be about $8,000. Little did I know, my wife had some more policies on me, so that's going to be covered as well. I may be out of pocket $2,500 at best, but I'm going to put up some pictures, and here we go. So I'm going to show you what the leg first looked like. It did break my tibia and fibula below my left knee, and it broke the shelf off the very top of the, I think it's the tibia, the big bone. So they did go in there and they did put 6 screws and a plate on that bone at the very top, right at the very edge where the knee goes down on that edge there. And so I'll show you that picture of the initial fracture, which is, you can see it there if you look on the corner of it. It broke that corner off. There was a fracture in the little bone, I believe. The bill for this has been astronomical. I bet you cannot. It was 8 days. But anyways, for 8 days on the first trip, and I'm going to put that bill up, was $330,000 for everything. The emergency room, and you can look at that bill. I'll zoom it in right now and let you look at it. But look at the bottom right. $330,000 for, it was about 7.5 days. I got out on the 8th day, which is unbelievable. No wonder people can't pay their medical bills. If it had been something, if I wouldn't have had insurance and it would have been something like $40,000, I would have put probably a good chunk down and paid out the rest if I wouldn't have had health insurance. I will tell you something that I did learn, which is something, if you can't pay your medical bills in the United States, I believe they changed the credit laws to where if you don't pay a medical bill and it goes on your credit, it's not held against your credit. I've got an 800 Beacon score, so my credit's perfect, but I wouldn't, even if I didn't have insurance, I would address it, get some kind of payment agreement to where it wouldn't hit my credit. But if you had no choice, and maybe this helps somebody out there, if you got to have a surgery or you go into the emergency room, you don't pay your bill, it's going to go on your credit, but the impact to your credit score has been lessened. I think that just happened in about the last 12 months. They changed the law to where the credit bureaus can't hold that against you as strongly as they used to could. But so anyways, let's get to the pictures. So I had the accident, the emergency room, leg or broken tibia. I showed you the picture of that. They put a screw or 6 screws and a plate on that, fixed that. I went home on the 8th day. I was non-weight bearing for maybe 60 days. And so I had a heart condition about 10 years ago. I got a mitral valve put in my heart and a 6-way bypass. I was smoking 3 packs of cigarettes a day. So that was fixed, and I'm real healthy now. I walk on the treadmill, but I have to take warfarin, which is a blood thinner. Anyway, so it's having a problem, and I'm not diabetic. The wound was having a problem, and it was probably a whole wound. There were two different parts where they sutured the leg. The top one was probably, I don't know, 11 to 13 inches long, something like that. And there was a part of that, about a 6-inch piece, would not heal. And they had stapled my leg initially and took the staples out at about the two and a half week mark, and everything looked good. I went home with it wrapped, and come to find out, about 4 weeks into this, there was about a 6-inch line that would not heal. Okay? I'm probably going to take this video down because of the pictures I'm fixing to show you, but I want to show them to you anyways. So I had a problem with that healing. I called my doctor. Would be last and I said, hey, we got a problem. We went in there. They looked at it, and it was still scabbing up pretty good. I'll put that picture up. It was scabbed up. And so Saturday, I think it was Saturday, no, it was Monday morning, me and my wife got up to change the wound dressing on it, which we were changing it every day. So we got up to change it, and oh boy. Anyways, it had, let me see if I can turn this off. Okay, damn things. Anyways, I'll get right back to you. Let me turn this off. Okay, back at it. So I got that, these machines, or these IV machines, I've got a pretty strong going into me right now, just to make sure there's no infection. So anyways, we go to the hospital Monday, called the doctor, and my wife were going to change the dressing, and took the dressing off, and it had totally opened up again. Probably about, and I'll show you the picture of that, you should be seeing it, opened up probably, I don't know, 4 inches, and it was pretty dramatic. It was obvious it was going to have to be done pretty immediately. So we go to the emergency room. The doctor said, hey, go back to the emergency room, and we'll look at it real quick, and we're probably going to have to do a surgery. So I get back here Monday morning, get in here, admit us, get a room finally after waiting. This is a pretty big trauma hospital. There were 80 patients in the trauma room. 30 of them needed rooms. It was 9 o'clock Monday night before we got a room. And I've got the best insurance, so they knew they were going to get paid. It's high volume, very good hospital for orthopedics, and it's a really good trauma hospital. Anyways, so we get here, we get in the hospital Monday night, 9:30. Tuesday, the doctor comes around, looks at it, and goes, yep, we're going to have to debride it. I believe that's the word they used. And so they went in. I'm going to show you, here are some really graphic pictures. And I know some of y'all are going to cut jokes because it's kind of weird look to it, this injury. And when I looked at it, I thought of something, and sometimes my mind wanders, and I'm sure, guys, when you look at it, you'll see anybody could look at it and probably think the wrong thing, but I did. I'm going to own up to it. But here's the picture of that, and looked like, and he said, hey, we're going to have to go to surgery with this, debride it. So I come out of surgery, changed the wound dressing 3 days later. I've been here now Monday through Saturday. Today is Saturday. I plan on putting this video out tonight, so Saturday evening. So I've been here, 5-6 days. It's going to be Monday before I can get back out, because they're waiting on some cultures just to double check, and some biopsies of, anyways, let's get to this picture. This wound is about 3.5, 4 inches long, I think. It says centimeters, and I can't remember how centimeters relate to inches. Anyways, it's about, I call it about 4.5, 3, high 3, maybe 4.5 inches long total. It's about 1.5 inches wide, and they went down in the leg and took out a piece that's probably, it wouldn't be a good size ribeye steak thickness wise, but it's probably when the total depth, it's probably 1.25 inches, 1.5 inches, something like that. And so you should see that as well, how deep that I call it a Q-tip, that little deal on the stick was deep, and they cut all that out. Took what did the doctor call it? They had to, it burns it, stop the bleeding from some of it in there. Also at the very end of the wound, and I'll do a close-up picture of that. I don't know what that is. If it's a tendon or whatever, you can see part of that. And like I said, it's graphic. So anyways, they ended up putting a wound pump. What it is, it's a piece of foam. So you got a hole, you put the piece of foam in there, it creates a vacuum on top of it, and it just sucks that wound together. It heals from the inside out. I had two people that are highly qualified say it's only going to take about 2 to 3 weeks for that all to fill in and heal. And then my next question was, what if that don't work? They said, if we'll do a skin graft over the top of it. But nevertheless, the first Dr. Bill was, I've been here just about as long with another surgery. So I'm thinking to myself, this is the first $500,000 broke leg I've ever heard of. And I don't know if the bill is something that they present to the insurance company and then they negotiate from there. But I don't know if the bill is, leave a comment and tell me. But here are the pictures. Here's what I've went through. I'm fixing to go home on Monday again. I just wanted to give y'all an update. I am weight bearing on the leg now, and I've been walking without a walker in the room. So the second I can get this healed up, or to a decent level, to wound is healed up, and start riding again and doing the first rides, I cannot wait to get on my motorcycle or ride one. I've just got to make sure this wound is where it needs to be, so I don't bump it on a foot peg or something like that and have to start all over. It is covered up. I am going home with a wound pump, so I'll have to. I'm sure I'm going to get another bill just like it, which I've already met my deductible, so it'll be added on top. But man, thank y'all for all the support. Be very careful when you ride, or you ride in group rides, or you ride with anybody, because the smallest thing could turn into this huge deal. And this ain't a huge deal, but it's kind of like that. But I think this is going to fix it. But man, make sure you have medical insurance. If there's any way you can get medical insurance, or if you're in another country or something like that, where it's more of insurance is taken care of by the government. Leave a comment what country you're in and watching this from. But man, thank you so much for staying with me through this. Got a bunch of new stuff that's fixing to hit. The Aprilias. We've got the one thing I'm excited about, the golf carts. We're going to start doing some side-by-side stuff. So we've got a ton of stuff coming. All I've got to do is get out of this damn hospital and get back to it. But man, thank y'all so much for staying with me. We'll see you on the next one.
Vader.